Welcome to the Jakarta Globe News Channel. This is The Perspective. I'm Florence Armein. Now, with small and medium enterprises slated to be one of Indonesia's economic pillar, and with the current number that is growing over 57 million of MSME in the country, this calls for a bigger question of how the business is being managed, human resources, accountings, assets. Now, here to talk about that this time around on Perspective, we have invited the presence of the Chief Executive of Sleeker, Suwandi SOH, right in the studio to help us better understand how micro and small and micro medium enterprises in Indonesia can help manage their business much better. Suwandi, thank you so much for coming and spending your time here. The weather isn't very friendly, so is traffic, but here you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Before we get deeper into this amazing application that you've launched was it software-based when you launched in 2015, correct?
Yes. 2015.
Before we get deeper into that, let me just get your insight on the current challenges in human resources and accounting management in the country.
Oh, okay. So HR itself is very broad. So there are how to recruit, how to retain the talents, and then compensation and benefits, and then payroll administration. So there are a lot of things.
Not to forget development as well.
Development, and also the culture itself. So HR itself is very broad. And then when we look at across the size or the scale of the companies, then there are enterprise, corporate, small and medium business, and then micro.
Right.
The one you mentioned, that 57 millions MSME. So if we look at the small and medium, excluding the micro, so those segments, they have their own set of problems and challenges. So if we narrow down to small and medium businesses, then the challenge will be how to retain and recruit talents, and then how to have a good, effective business process within your HR administration. And then the third one is how to handle payroll and administration. Right. Because based on the latest report, Indonesia is ranked 109 in ease of doing business. Yes, 109. So in the other research, why there is a reason why Indonesia is ranked in 109, because one of them is there are a lot like 51 taxes you need to pay in 1 year. So if you are a small business, those apply to you as well. Yeah. So how to handle these 51 taxes, and how to handle social security, that's what we are trying to solve, and those are the challenges that we find in Indonesia.
And how do you think the current ecosystem of MSME is dealing with these challenges? I mean, aside, put yourself and the likes aside, but how do you think they've overcome these problems so far? And how is it in a sustainable manner? Is it not in a sustainable manner?
Yeah, if we look at HR, currently most small and medium business, they don't have a proper HR system. Right. So they do a lot of mistakes. So at the beginning, when you have only like 10 employees, then the problem is not so obvious. But when it started to grow like 20 or 30 employees, then the problem you can see the problem everywhere. It starts with mistakes in payroll, and then how you handle employee data, and how you register your employee to formal BPJS. Right. Yeah. So they started to have a lot of problem in that area, and they don't have any sustainable system at the moment. So the best they can do is to have a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Yeah,
everything is done manually.
Everything is manually, and sometimes most of them are on papers. So let's say if you want to handle your reimbursement or your claim, you submit a form, and then you submit to your HR, and then in the next month, hopefully in the next month, they pay for your reimbursement. So they don't have any sustainable system. And
is it safe to say that this is 90% of the practice of the companies here in the country? May that be a small corporation or a large corporation?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. We can say that around 80 to 90% they are doing it that way. Yeah. And in accounting, I think in accounting sometimes it's worse. Yeah. Because I remember reading in Jakarta Globe a few months ago that President Joko Widodo he encouraged that small startups help small and medium business to be more bankable. Right. Because at the moment, Indonesian small and medium business, most of them, they cannot apply for loan to formal institutions like banks, because they don't have any books. Yeah. So those are the challenges that is in Indonesia, and sometimes we can say that it is not sustainable.
Yeah, okay. Sleeker HR and sleeker accounting. We will talk more about the development of the software and how it becomes an app. And this is one of the stories that you don't want to miss about the growing ecosystem of applications and startup in the country when we come back on The Perspective.